Hey everybody, this is Herschel from High School Top 200. First off, I want to say happy birthday to my brother Iverson. Iverson goes to Melville High School and he's turning 16 today, so happy birthday Iverson, love you heaps bro. This is a review of Hamilton Boys versus Rotorua in that Chiefs Cup. This is probably a game I should have probably paid more attention to. I think I probably took it for granted that Hamilton Boys was going to come back from their loss on Tuesday, and then sort of take it out on Rotorua Boys, who I know is a real young team, and I know that they have a lot of inexperience, and so basically I just thought, well, Hamilton Boys were going to run away with this game, and it kind of looked like that in the beginning, like it really did. But then that's kind of the same thing that happened at Auckland Grammar, where Hamilton Boys got into this rhythm of just real quick rucks, real good running angles. They set up their pods and their systems right. They kept the same pattern that they usually do. They had guys breaking the line. They had a lot of space to use after they set up their pods and they ran their systems through. And then it was pretty much after the third and fourth ruck they would start spreading it wide, and then that's where guys like Quinn and Toto took advantage of things like that. And so for me it was kind of more like to the point where I just thought that Hamilton Boys was like, okay, they had a real heartbreaking game against Grammar. Even though they dominated that first half like easily, I thought that this is where they would probably come back. They now I think if you watched it on TV, I think it had a bit of a different effect when you're there live at the game, because seeing it live you would see Hamilton's dominance at the ruck in that first half, and it looked really effortlessly the way that they did it, and then the way that they would they were under pressure right in the beginning, off the kickoff again, because Rotorua went with a real weird kickoff right in the beginning. I thought was kind of strange, and I didn't really see the purpose of it. I'm not too sure why they did it, but anyways, they kind of messed it up. Rotorua messed it up, and then Hamilton Boys went down, did their thing, came away with some points, went back down again, was under a little bit of pressure, and then they sort of got the control back and then easily went down the field again. Now, that was kind of what I was looking for anyway in a team like Hamilton Boys, and the way that they did it. They had Tavita running really well, they had Charles running really well, Tom did a lot of good hit-ups, I thought was really good. Joe Vucker was around everywhere. You always saw Matt Kemp with the ball, hitting it hard. And so I think Jonas was the other one that was really hitting it hard, and they did a lot in the forward pack in terms of being able to control that ruck and control their running lanes and things like that, and it just looked so easy to them. And then they had the space out wide from drawing defense, things like that, and then they got their way with the way that they wanted to do it. And so when it came time to attack, they attacked, and it really paid off. Now, if you watch the game, it was basically the same game. You just changed the opposition. First it was Auckland Grammar, now it was Rotorua Boys. Rotorua Boys just controlled the game, controlled the rucks, didn't really make a lot of mistakes. They were real suspect on their lineouts, but I think you could really give that a pass. Like, he was a young hooker that was not the most experienced, played really good on the field, but got to get his throwing down, things like that. But Rotorua did really good in terms of making sure that when they attacked with enough space created by the forwards. And it doesn't take much, because Tom Ali and Hayes really don't need a lot of space when it comes to attacking. They can attack pretty much by themselves with a little bit of space. Now, one thing I did see and this is something I didn't that I thought was one of the key changes, was that Tom was not taking care of the defensive side when he was on Quinn, and then you see them switch over, and that was the other thing that I thought was that was pretty good, because when Quinn scored his try, he kind of went through Hayes. Like Hayes was one of the guys that he went through, but then when they made the actual switch, then Hayes sort of mirrored him. It did kind of slow down Quinn. Quinn had to be more of a distributor and a distraction rather than the main force of attack. Then Hayes got his chance and then attacked, and then, you know, it was just basically the Hayes show, because he just broke every single thing, every single line, and every single tackle that he went through. He was just making it so hard and so difficult. It was almost like it should have almost been like a basketball game, and you should have just double teamed him, kind of thing, because he was just getting past the defense way too easy. And I'm not saying that Hayes is just a normal guy you can just tackle, because Hayes has got too many moves. He's too quick, you know, things like that. His footwork's really good, and he's unselfish. Like, as you can tell, like his little kick that he put on, things like that he could create. It's not easy to mark, and I'm not saying that it's easy to mark him, but they should have made a move on him a bit faster. Maybe, you know, do something different. Like, make sure that an open side is there. You know, make sure you put pressure on him every single time. Quinn also played good for Rotorua boys at first 5, and I thought he did really well, just passing on the board. Tookie had a big game at open side, even though Tookie's only year 11, and he's the number 2 year 11 in New Zealand, and for the amount of responsibility they put on him for such a young guy in such a big time school like that, you can already see how good this dude is going to be. He's playing open side, and he's more of a blind side, number 8, and he's playing open side out of necessity. They had Manny Crawford playing number 8. He was really good. I really like the Tongan guy with the red headgears, Sumisi, I think his name is. Really good player, really tough guy. He's one of my favourite guys in Rotorua boys too, and he just does all the work that you need to get done. Now, the one thing that I thought Rotorua showed a lot of was patience. A lot of patience in terms of making sure that they set up a good platform for their attack, making sure that, and the forwards did really well, and making sure that the backs, when they did attack, they had something positive to go against. Not like, let's get it to the backs because we don't know what else to do. They got it to the backs, and the backs attacked. I forgot the fullback's name, but he was also really good. The Fijian guy, real quick. I don't know what they're going to do about like Tamateotu when he comes back, but they got to do something to make it work, because both of them are really good. Both of them really good fullbacks. It's a heartbreaking thing for Hamilton boys. They're going to fall in the rankings. Rotorua's going to shoot up a bit. How much they're going to shoot up, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to make a video so that everyone knows sort of the way that I think about things when I make these rankings. I'm going to make a video for the top 25 so everyone knows how it works out in the top 25, and then I'm going to make a separate one for the top 26 to 50, and then the top 50 to 100, and I'm going to make 3 separate videos so everyone knows how it's going on. Rotorua is going to be a beast of a team next year, and they're going to be really hard for at least the next 3 years. Hamilton boys are going to bounce back. I still think they're a really strong team. I still think they're probably the second best in the country, even though they've lost games. And I still think we'll probably see them in the top 4 again. I'm really keen to see what happens after this break. And that's my review. Peace.